What is up, fam? What a day. Believe me, it is a huge milestone for me, for you guys, and for my channel, actually, because we finally have a 1.8T in a Corrado, bolted up beautifully, by the way. No problems in bolting it up. So now, what do we do next? Well, the next steps for the Corrado, aka the Rattle build, is number one, getting it to look correctly in the bay. Even though it does look like a stock engine inside a car, nowhere near the world of stock, that's for sure. But what I'm trying to say is, like, what are we going to do? So we got a VR6 radiator. We got to get some custom fans put in. So radiator, fans, we got to get some coolant lines, and then we got an intercooler to mock up. We got a downpipe to get built for it. And that should be the general gist of things for this car. Now, that being said, we have to, what's going on, Rob? We have to really be smart on a lot of stuff that's going to go into this car, because a lot of things can go very wrong if we don't invest and we don't research properly. The reason why I say it can go wrong, well, number one, we can end up buying twice because we underspend or overspent on something that we probably didn't need to do. Number two, buying the wrong parts. I mean, simple as that. Buying the wrong stuff, and out of nowhere, it just doesn't work. That's just a big waste of time, money, especially money. So we all went through voting. What's up, Tiny? I'm doing good. I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. Like I said, I've been at the junkyards in the 100-degree weather, pulling parts. For the Patreon side, we got a bracket that we really needed for the VR6 because it was stripped. So we got the bracket, paid $15, got a ton of extra bolts that we needed for the Corrado. No, it didn't say any Mark IIIs. Had a ton of Mark IVs, and so if you guys are on the Patreon side, just wanted to give you guys a heads up for Patreons. It's the bracket that bolts onto the engine, so the motor mount could go on it. That was actually completely stripped out on the engine that we got. So I've been doing my research and pricing everything for the VR6, and the smartest thing to do, unfortunately, is to buy another VR6. The positive side is that VR6 is dirt cheap. I can go buy a complete VR6 from the junkyard for $280. So that's pretty cool. But we're not here for the VR6. This is all about the Corrado big turbo build. Yeah, no, it's a lot. It's pretty expensive just to get just parts, not including all the other work you got to get into. It's not cheap. That's cool. Don't need a Mark II right now. I'm definitely looking for more Corrado stuff. So, YouTubers, friends, family, heed my call. I need a lot of help. Number one, I need window scrapers for a Corrado. Okay? If you guys have window scrapers, I will pay a premium for you guys, and I will pay for shipping. Okay? I need that very, very bad. Window scrapers. They got to be in good to great condition. Okay? That's all I'm asking for right now. Now, on top of that, if you guys have any better ways than using original stuff, if you guys have any advice on, say, modifying other cars' window scrapers to make them fit, I am 100% for it. So if you guys have any ideas, please, 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 please give me the heads up. I'm here. My ears are open. I'm open to any idea to get this Corrado done as fast as possible. I'm waiting for Momo to hit me back because we're gonna get some seats, steering wheel, shifter, knob, freaking pedals. All from Momo is kind of the idea to give this car a nice classic and newer look. Now that being said, do you guys have any questions for me tonight? George, my back is so much better, man. Just sleeping off and taking some muscle relaxing just helps night and day. It's still kind of in a kinky position, so I do have to be very, very careful on what I do and how I do it. But my back is kind of like 80% back. It sucks, but right now I can't be a chump. I can't be a wimp. I just gotta keep on pushing forward. Time is of the essence. I know it's kind of weird me rushing, but I got a lot of stuff that needs to get done, and this Corrado needs to be at least up and running by the end of summer, and then I gotta do its first drive to the fab shop to get a whole roll cage mocked up in it. We're gonna do a half cage. I don't want to do a full cage in it, so we're gonna do a roll cage. We're gonna design it so it can be bolt on. Hopefully bolt on. That's kind of the idea. Get a roll cage, harness bar, 3-point harness in it, custom seats, brackets. We're gonna build a custom center console for it, and then once that comes out, then if they ask you to make a Jetta 4Motion, you doing it? I mean, a 4Motion Jetta wouldn't be that difficult to do. All you need to do is go bring a car from like Canada, go buy a 4Motion Jetta from Canada and just swap everything over. You're done. Just go from full Canadian and then just swap everything over to American and then just convert it and call it a day. It'd be the easiest thing to build. I would not go into fabricating an all-wheel drive system into an American car. Dollar for dollar is just a complete waste of money. So you're better off buying a complete all-wheel drive car and an American car, move everything from the American car that you want into the Canadian car, do some fun magical stuff and make it legal. Half the night and day, the amount of difference in work. You can do it. You just gotta mess with it. Just gotta mess with it. But you're welcome, Rob, by the way. You're totally welcome. So if you guys haven't seen it on my channel, go and look at the Corrado. It's nearing. We're like halfway done. The other half is literally mock-up, custom stuff, fun stuff. We're going to be filming all of that together. We're going to show you guys how to do all this cool stuff. We're not doing a front mount intercooler. The Corrados just don't have a bumper design for a front mount intercooler. It just wouldn't be a smart thing to do. That's why we're going to water to air, just because we could use the little space for doing all that. So that's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to do a lot of fun, interesting stuff in the Corrado coming very soon. Custom stuff, especially stuff that doesn't exist for a Corrado and Mark IIs, because Corrados are technically a Mark II and a Mark III. So a lot of stuff will be interchangeable with the Mark II and Mark III family. So a lot of new products. Skid plates are going to be coming for Corrados. We're going to design them to work kind of like bolt on to everything factory location stuff. So that way we can utilize everything from the factory, make it look cool, and bolt on. That's the goal, is to design something that bolts on to the car using everything from the factory. Maybe just getting longer bolts, and that's pretty much it. Nothing crazy. So other than that, Do you guys have any other questions? If you guys are interested in the VR6 VR6 Jetta that we're building, please follow my Patreon page. That's where we post everything and get everything updated. You guys on YouTube get everything after the fact. Again, that's how every time I talk about it, it's just because that's what I want you guys to know and understand, that that's how my channel works. It's kind of splitting down in the middle, almost like more like 75-25, 75 YouTube, 25 Patreon. But we definitely have a lot of Patreon members backing up the VR Jetta VR6. And then once we the spider. Once we finish the Corrado, I'm going to be driving that, breaking it in, and there'll be no more content for a while until the Jetta's done. And then what we're going to do is actually show off both cars that we finished building, and then we're going to give away both cars kind of like at the same time. I think that would be very cool. 2-car giveaway, one for YouTube and one for Patreon. I think that's going to be a very, very cool thing to do. But do you guys have any other questions for me tonight? If not, I'm going to call it a short night. I'm going to get back to doing what I'm doing tonight. I got a lot of work. Anything, guys? I'm here. 6 days. It's going to be my birthday. I'm going to be 37 this year in 6 days. And on 6 days, which is a Friday, you guys are going to jump on my Zoom and we're going to party on Zoom. I'm going to put on some 80s movies. I'm going to be dressing up in an 80s costume. We're going to be chilling, eating, and just hanging out. So we're going to have a movie streaming, and we're just going to have conversations. So if you guys want to talk, I want to meet you guys. Just remember Zoom. If you don't have it on your computer or on your phone, get it. It's 100% free. I'm going to pay for the unlimited amount, so we can have like 10, 20 hours or whatever. I'll just have it up and going, have movies playing all at the same time when we're doing the Zoom. So please, please, please spread the word. Pinche Al's going to go live on his birthday. I ain't going anywhere. I'm just going to chill at home, hang out on Zoom. That license plate right there, yeah, that's has a very important significance. That license plate right there is to my very first Mark IV. That's my first Mark IV GTI license plate. So yes, that has a very, very important significance. No, my very first Mark IV that I bought almost 15 years ago, or 12, 13 years ago. It's been a while. Like 12 or 13 years ago, my first Mark IV, and that license plate is to that car. George, how would I look for the motor mount on a 1.8? What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean. What motor mount? Which motor mount are we talking about, George? Come on, George. Waiting for your answer. For the Corrado. Okay. So for the Corrado, what's funny, what people don't understand, the 1.8. No, you didn't find any black seats. I found some, but they had cigarette burns in them, so no luck. Oh well. It's not a huge priority. But I found everything else I needed, which was actually more important than the seats. Okay, so George Pacheco. If you go online and look up VW Corrado G60, okay? The G60, the 2.0, the 1.8T, the 8-valve, 16-valve engines, the bottom end of the block are almost all identical. The block itself. Everything is like legitimately almost identical there's a couple little things here and there that are different, but I kid you not, they're like twins. They all match. So what's dope about that, and that's what's really cool about Volkswagen, they didn't change anything in their engines for almost 20 years, like and building their bottom end blocks. So what makes it super cool, the back of the engine on a G60, because the Mark II 16 valve has the same bracket, but it has a different height. But the G60, they're the same bracket that bolts onto the back of the engine. That engine bolts right onto a 1.8T, and it bolts on like factory. Everything mounts up like factory. There's nothing special. You don't have to like modify. You don't have to, and nothing. Everything bolts up like that engine was meant for that car. That's what's super cool about these cars. So you get the G60 ones because the G60 ones fit better. Okay, that's what I'm just trying to explain to you. They fit a lot better. There's no weird findangling to get it on. You can make it work with the 16 valve bracket. It's just there's a little bit more work involved to get them to fit nicely. The G60 one is just perfect. But you get the G60 one, and then on the G60, again, on the Corrado engine, they're like a Mark III. They're more Mark III than they are Mark II. So they have a weird bracket that kind of hangs off the engine. The transmission is almost like a Mark IV transmission. It's what they call an O2A, and then there's an O2J. They're almost identical, besides the fact that one is mechanical shifted, and the other one's like the clutch is mechanical versus the O2J, which is hydraulic. So the bell housing and everything is almost, again, they're like twins, which is super dope. So you just take the bracket off of that transmission, you take the bracket off of the old engine, and bolts right on. Factory locations, you don't have to modify anything. I use Fabless Manufacturing cross member for the front because number one, it's lighter, and it's designed for a 1.8T swap. That cross member was designed for swaps. So it makes your life a lot easier sourcing that front bracket. That bracket that sits on the front of the engine, that kind of sits on it, is horrible. And even if you get that bracket, once you install a starter on it, it doesn't fit. Because again, it's from a 16 valve, 8 valve G60. They're a little different. The starter is much bigger on a 1.8T, so none of it mocks up correctly or fits nicely. Fabless Manufacturing designed this really cool bar that goes underneath the chassis, has a bracket that's what's up, Luis? That bolts right up to the factory location like it was meant to be there. You spend a premium, but then you save a headache. I guess is kind of how you want to think about it. And then put it in. What's funny and even more sad, the engine sits even more level than it does in the Mark IV. If you ever look at a Mark IV 1.8T and then you look at a 1.8T inside a Corrado or a Mark II, a Mark IV, their engine tilts a little bit. On the Corrado or the Mark II, it's perfectly level. It's insane. Like, it makes no sense why the 1.8T sits better in a Mark II Corrado chassis versus the original counterpart. And what's even funnier, it's supported even better than in a Mark IV. Instead of a Mark IV just floating in midair with using the rubber bushing and then a bar that sits underneath it, it's actually sitting on bushings and a bar. Well, this one is sitting on a bar, which is much, much better to personally like, and what I think of how it's going to sit and how it's going to handle power going to the wheels much better than a Mark IV scenario. Again, the Mark II Corrado chassis, the Corrado is identical to a Mark II chassis, and the Mark II, those are driver's cars. Those cars are meant to put power and make the driver experience just euphoria of just fun. I've been in my friend's Mark II with the VR6, and it's just such a fun feeling inside the car. There's so much character, so much, clankety clanks and noises it's it's such a fun experience to be in an old car than something new, and with no soul, no character. These cars, they turn on, everything vibrates, makes noises, and you can actually feel the steering. I mean, everything's great. They're meant to be driven, and that's why I'm super excited about this Corrado. Very, very excited to get it all wired up and running like soon, like very soon. It's just now we got to get into mocking up the whole entire engine bay, making sure everything works the way we want it. Because there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to have to redesign. For example, since we're going to we're going to turn the intake, instead of having the throttle body on the left-hand side, which is the passenger side, we're going to have it on the driver's side. Well, there's a problem with that. The throttle body cable is designed to go on this side with everything else. So we have to actually kind of like turn the wire harness the other way and extend some wires to match up everything. So we're going to teach you all this, by the way. This is all something that we're going to do all together. We're going to learn how to extend some wires. We're going to do some crimping and everything. We're going to cut and crimp and make everything nice and long and work correctly. We're going to do a wire tuck in the engine bay. We're going to do the best we can to hide everything we can in this engine, which is super easy because there's a lot of stuff missing. I don't know what belt to use for this car because it doesn't have power steering or AC. It only has an alternator, so which is super cool because now I just have to worry about one thing failing on me, which is an alternator, which is very, very rare. So we're going to learn how to do all that too. Let's see, on top of that, so we got that. We're going to be making a bunch of custom lines for the coolant for the radiator, so we're going to show you how to do that as well. It's the custom oil lines for the turbo setup. We're going to do a custom catch can, like we did on Ian's car and his Jetta. We're going to do a whole custom setup for that as well. And then we got to decide on wheels. I think we broke it down to the 3SDMs or the Rado, not Rado. Forget what other wheels, but yeah, it won't be that hard, believe it or not. The steering wheel on this car came with the manual steering, so I'll start Merc. Give me a second. Pacheco, the steering wheel. If you have a power steering wheel and you convert it into like if you just pull the lines out of it and then it's manual, those are actually harder to turn. This is actually from the factory. It's a Mark II GTI manual steering rack. They're geared a little different. If you actually look on the teeth on them, they're geared to be manual steering. So the steering actually is it's not as easy as power steering, but it's much easier than losing power steering in a car that has power steering. I guess if that makes any sense, George. No, can't do it. Radiate wheels are too big. I have to do 16s. I'm not going any bigger than 16-inch wheels on this car. So yeah, it's a little different, George. If you've ever driven an old school bus or a Bug that has manual steering because they have a special gearbox, for that reason, it's not that bad. You'd be surprised at how easy it is to turn a Volkswagen bus or a Bug with manual steering. Again, this car has a conversion to manual steering. It's not a power steering rack that's been just deleted. No. We converted it. So it's pretty cool. No, do not go. No, do not go manual steering on a Mark IV. Those things are heavy. That's a 28 to almost 3,000 pound car. You don't want to go manual steering on a Mark IV. It sucks. All right, for All-Star Merc, doing a 1.8T cam chain tensioner tomorrow. Any tips? Yes, super easy. All right, so number one, put the engine in top dead center. Yeah, okay, so listen very close. Okay, All-Star Merc, listen Very, very close. First, leave your valve cover on and everything. Crank the engine over by hand using a breaker bar and whatnot, and time it. You're going to set the the cam gear to the valve cover, okay? You don't have to remove any belt. You just got to make sure it's set there, okay, All-Star? Once it's set to timing, all right, leave it alone. Take the valve cover off, all right? Once you take the valve cover off, you're going to remove the intake cam, okay? Not the exhaust cam. Leave the exhaust cam completely alone. But you're going to unbolt the cam for the intake side. But before you do that, you're going to mark on your chain the 16 links that you need. If your car is properly timed from the factory, there should be 2 notches on your cams. If you look up the Bentley manual, if you don't have one, I'm going to give you one right now. Give me a second here. Oh, excuse me. All right. That link in the chat room is to download your Mark IV Bentley manual, okay? And you're going to use that. There's a visual in there that shows you where your cams have to be, okay? It's hard to imagine it just by me describing it to you. What's up, babe? Kids asleep? Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that right now. Jeez. Getting eaten alive. Please. Uh-huh. Okay, so again, you need that Bentley manual. Look for the cam chain tensioner chain timing image that you'll see. It'll tell you exactly where the chain has to be. Okay? Before you take the intake cam out, you mark it with like highlighter or white Sharpie or white out, whatever you're going to do. Just mark them. Okay? You're going to unbolt the cam, and then you're going to take the tensioner tool. I don't know if you know, there's a special tool for the tensioner. This guy right here. Okay? This is the cam chain tensioner tool. You get these when you buy a new tensioner. Leave that one alone. If you don't have a spare one, I can send you this for free. Just pay for shipping. I think it'd be like $5 or $8 to ship this if you want this. I can ship this to you. Again, I can ship it to you if you need it. You need this because you have to squeeze the tensioner together. So when you unbolt the cam and you unbolt the cam chain tensioner, all that comes out. You leave the exhaust cam alone. It should still be bolted in. You don't touch it. And everything should come right out. You should be able to like wiggle the cam out, and then the tensioner should come right out. Then what you do, you put the new tensioner back. You put the new tensioner in, and then at the same time as you're holding the tensioner, you kind of like fandangle the cam into place. Okay. Once that's in, you're going to put the cam's little notch to match the teeth the same way that you took it off to put it back on. That's pretty much it. Then bolt it all back together and you're done. That is pretty much the tensioner job in a nutshell. I wish I could show you. If I had an engine to take it apart and show you, I'd do it. But I don't. I just did that about a day or two ago live. But it's not hard. Just got to take your time. Don't drop the cam. Don't scratch the cam. Don't drop the cam caps. Don't mix your cam caps. Don't don't scratch anything. Those things are super important. Get a box, lay them in there nice and straight in the same way that you took them out. That way you put them back in the same way. Okay. All the bolts on the cams are 7 foot-pounds. Okay. They don't go on very tight, just 7 foot-pounds. Again, you leave the exhaust cam alone. You pull everything else out. Okay. What's up, Al? What's up, McDubbin? Hopefully that helps you, All-Star. I'm sorry. I wish I could give you more information, but without me having the engine, I can't show you. It's really difficult to do that. Tony, Al, I have a check engine light with P1113, bank 1, sensor 1, internal resistance too high. Tony, how old is that O2 sensor? Has that O2 sensor been in there for years? If so, it probably failed. You might have to replace it. Rob, good thing all of Al's videos are still available and watch at any time. Right? You're welcome, All-Star. You're very, very welcome. Cheers. Let me see. Yeah, because more likely that code is for an O2 sensor. Let me double check it, but I believe that's what it's for. Okay, so it can fall under a couple of things, Tony. Give me a second, Luis. So doing my research and reading up on this, you need a VADCOM. You need to get a VADCOM, and okay, you need to get someone that has a VADCOM that can read that code to see if it's actually the O2 sensor compensating for another sensor failing. Because it can fall under multiple vacuum leaks. It can fall under running too rich. It can fall under the O2 sensor failing. It can also fall under a short in your system. So it's kind of like a big bunch of issues in a nutshell, Tony. So unfortunately, without having a VADCOM, you cannot diagnose this error just by the code. Unfortunately, it's a little bit more deeper than just a code. So I wish I could give you more information about that. Sorry though. Luis, Al, I need one of those 12 valves. Okay. The cool thing is there's two of them there. There's two complete VR6s at the yard. It will probably take me one day to pull one out. So, because I'm going to be by myself. If I can get some other friends or something like that to be with me, we could probably pull both VRs in one day. And I'll buy both of them and I'll sell you one. I'll sell you for what I get it for. Maybe you can, cut me some slack for some gas or something. But yeah, they're complete. I didn't get a chance to crank them over. That's the only thing I didn't do yet. So if I go back again next time, again, I'm willing to. If you want to come down, we can go on a weekend and go pull them out. They're, like I said, complete engine, which means on their website, complete means the engine, the alternator starter, and power steering all come together for $280, I think, with a $40 or $50 core charge. So they're actually pretty common right now at the junkyards right now, the VR6s. Now, the only downside is we don't know the problems with them. That's a big issue. So my thing is we would probably want to pull the heads off. I would probably want to pull the heads off at the junkyard just to double check the condition of the head and the actual block and see if it'll let us turn over the block with no problems. Luis, I'm open. I'm definitely open for that. That's pretty cool. But see, I'm trying to buy a VR6 to probably make up for this one, because this one, the crank is definitely messed up and I definitely need new rods. So buying all of that in an engine that's already complete, probably very minimal problems to maybe nothing, is cheaper than buying new rods and a new crank. So Definitely something we can talk about for sure, Luis. I'm very interested in that because since my Corrado's done, I need another motor. I need to get some engines in here, and I got to start building something else. Can't have this workspace empty. It's really not empty, but you know what I mean. Um, sure, let's do it, Luis. I'm super down. I got the money for the engine. I just need to make sure everybody on Patreon agrees with me. It's not something that I have to make the choice with. Patreon has to make the choice. I don't make that. As long as you guys all agree that I should just pull a motor out, I'm 100% up for dibs for that versus rebuilding this because it's going to cost a lot more money to rebuild this one. Obviously, I'm going to rebuild the other one, but I'm not going to have to buy as much parts. Daniel, we agree. So, again, guys, hell yeah. See, Rob's a homie right there. And Rob lives by the Chula. He doesn't live by them, but he lives closer to that area. So if we can get a good group of people, oh, man, we can pull this thing out fast, like super fast. And then when we're all done, let's go. We can go somewhere, go to someone's place or just chill and go get some drinks and eat. And I'm down to buy everybody food and hang out and chill, make a day of it. Again, it's not a problem, Luis. Not a big deal. But if others are local, we can get together and do it. It's not going to be like today or tomorrow. It'll probably be done next week or later this week. I mean, I'm down. I'm super, super down. So I just want you guys to know that that is an option. Okay? So next thing is I'm designing more and more shirts, and you guys are liking them. I don't know if you guys like the 1.8 T-shirt that I just designed. If you guys go on my community tab page, you'll see it. They're going up for sale tonight, so we're gonna have a whole new line of new shirts that I'm designing. I'm definitely doing some cool retro stuff, some funky, cool stuff that's coming out. I definitely want to go, and I'm getting my creative side blooming. I want my creative side to bloom a lot more. So I need some more ideas. Now, what I want to do is I want to do a line of shirts with your guys' cars. So if you guys have some really, really cool shots of your car and you don't mind me, modifying the car or anything like that and turning it into a shirt, please email me at pincheals.garage@gmail.com. Okay? If you guys are very interested in that, please send me a picture of your car. I would love to make a shirt for you of your car. Because I want to show that I care about your guys' cars, and I want to post them up, and I want to make shirts for you guys, and make it for you guys or make them for others. Why not? I'm working on a Jetta right now. It's coming out pretty cool. From someone on Facebook hit me up, so I decided to do have a little bit of fun with it. Let me show you guys. I'm not done with it yet, but I just started it. You guys can see, here's a picture of the guy's Jetta. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking everything out in the background now, and then I'm going to design a cool retro background, probably put Mark IV or something. Just have some fun with it, probably going to change the color scheme a little bit, but I want to have fun with it. I want to do some fun and interesting stuff, but for your guys' cars, not mine. I want your guys' cars on here. So if you guys, again, I'll post up my email right now. Send me a picture of your car. If you guys like it, I will make it into a shirt for you. All right, there's my email, pincheals.garage@gmail.com. Again, send me the email. Let's have some fun. Let's make some fun, unique stuff. Let's change up the world. Let's make the world awesome and have fun. Here's a Mark II that I'm doing as well. This is a Mark II that I'm designing. Now, I took out everything in the background. If you guys saw the previous picture, deleted everything in the background. We're going to do some cool background stuff with it. Why did I have a long day? I woke up at 8 in the morning and nothing but car stuff. Had a lot of fun. But yeah, nothing but car stuff. Here's another one that I did. I'm not going to have my wife hold it up because it has a hairy arm. But it's the one that I designed that says, "In Boost We Trust." We're going to change it up a little bit. But yeah, this is another one that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a shirt. The current one that I redid was of this one. So this is the one I did up, the 1.8T. And now it's a Mark IV or a 1.8T shirt that I designed. So I know you guys like this one a lot. So we're going to be doing some more stuff with it. So it's going to be a fun stuff. Thank you, Luis. I'll definitely be looking at that. If it's not today, it'll be tomorrow for sure. So on my online store, there's going to be what we call a community, like a community graphic design, where all your guys' shirts are going to be for sale. So people are going to be able to buy your car for a shirt. Okay. So please be okay with that. That's all I ask of you guys. If you guys are okay with that, then I will put them up for sale for others to enjoy. Obviously, we'll have more and more cars on there, so it won't be just your car; it'll be other people's cars as well. So that is another item that we're going to be doing. Down the road, next, I ordered these products. So we're going to have koozies. We can also make a koozie with your car on it, which is going to be another option. A face mask with your car on it, or maybe a logo of some sort. I'm going to be making Pinche Al's Garage face masks very soon. So we're going to have like cool face masks with the big VW skull on here, or a bunch of other stuff, so you guys can have some fun, cool products to be out there. We're going to sell these for like $3 to $5 a piece. I mean, they're going to be dirt cheap. For all you guys, again, who ordered a bunch of t-shirts from us just past week, actually past weeks, I just shipped out a huge batch of orders. Look in your email. You should have a tracking number with all the information. Everybody who had a delay on their order, you guys got an awesome little goodie box. Okay, you guys have a box, and I gave you guys a bunch of extra little cool goodies that did not come. I typically charge $10 to $15 for this kit. Every single person who got a delay on their order is getting a free goodie box with a bunch of stuff for you guys. So please, thank you. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for ordering from our online store. And thank you for just being a viewer and being a part of the channel. I'm taking care of you guys as fast as I can. Again, this is a 2-person operation, just me and my wife, you know. So things take their time, and obviously COVID is not doing anything better for us. You know, I know it's an excuse we use over and over, but it's true. You know, unfortunately, it is true, and it sucks. So I just had another family member pass away due to COVID. Excuse my language, but it fucking sucks. I hate it with a passion. It sucks. If you guys don't follow the mask rules or anything, you suck, okay? You guys don't understand. I just lost an uncle because of this shit, and all because people don't listen and follow the rules. I'm really sick and tired of it. I'm sorry. I'm giving you guys I'm just angry. So yeah, you know, I'm losing a lot of family members. This is a 4th one this year. So COVID is real, guys, and let's just leave it there. You know, let's just leave it there. Whatever. All right, back to car stuff. Okay, so Mr. Johnson Gaming sent an MK4 with love to see how the process works. Don't know about everyone else. I'll see what I can do for you, Mr. Johnson Gaming. Best ever, best VW channel ever. Thank you, thank you. Any ideas why my rear speakers aren't working? I pulled a rear one and hooked it up, and the front ones, and it works. Yeah, it's probably because you have a factory stereo system in that car. You should replace all of it. Honestly, Rob, and I would love to build you a Mark IV stereo system. Luis, you're the best. Al and all we trust. You guys are awesome. Yeah, it does suck, and thank you for your thoughtful comments. You know, and that sucks for you, Luis. And yeah, it is real. Thank you, Daniel. I agree. Thank you. Again, exactly. Here's one of my shirts. Obviously, it's damaged, covered in dye, but this one didn't come out very good. But yeah, it came out pretty cool. But this is actually came out really bad. You can see the white is bleeding through. This was me doing it with my own machine, and the machine took a dump on me. So we're not doing that anymore. We're gonna wait until our other machine comes in now, but that's not gonna be for a while. So again, yes, I want your guys' cars, high resolution pictures, please, and in the best way possible, as clear as possible. Because when I convert it into an illustration, it's gonna turn it into whatever it is. So if you give me a crappy picture, it's going to be a crappy conversion. So please understand that, FYI. And again, everything is all the money that's going to come from making these shirts goes right back into the channel. So we're going to use it to buy. We actually are trying to save up right now to buy a new lens for my camera. I need to get a wide angle lens now. I'm down. I haven't been able to buy new lenses for this thing. I've been shooting with pretty much factory stuff, which I hate very much. I do not like to take pictures with the factory lenses. I like aftermarket lenses. So if you and anybody knows, if you guys have any wide lenses for micro, it's called a micro 3/4, I believe, lens, I am super down. If it's I need a wide angle, so I can start shooting some pictures and filming in wide angle as well. These really narrow lenses suck for taking pictures, by the way, and filming. Dragging Green Pearl, Mark IV, let me look it up. Never seen that color, or I've seen it, just don't know the name of it. Ooh, that is a pretty color, dude. I love that color. That color is freaking dope, dude. Yeah. Yeah. I'd do that in a heartbeat. McDubbin, yeah, you could run an AN8. You just gotta, depending on which catch can you get. Usually they're just threaded, and you can just change whatever size AN fitting you want in it. You just got to make sure you match the. Well, if you're using the same one as me, the actual port is I believe it's half inch or quarter-inch MPT for the threads in the back, and then you just got to buy, or not buy it, but you got to make sure that thread has an AN8. But I use AN10 for everything. For breathing systems, you want an AN10 because you want that bigger hole. AN8 just a little too small for breathing systems. AN10 is just kind of like the right size. But I mean, if you're gonna go with AN8, definitely use. Just make sure you match up the hole for the because mine's threaded, so you can swap out parts whatever size you want. Yeah, Rob, it's a gorgeous color. I would definitely do it. Yeah. Well, my catch can again is threaded, so you can just do whatever size you want. You don't want to go in an adapter. You don't want to downside have it small to big. You want it always big all the way through, so you don't build any back pressure, especially in a breathing system like that. So you want to make sure you pull the threads out or pull the adapter out and just find out. It should be 1/4 inch MPT. I think it's 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch MPT for the threads, and then you just buy you get it like that. Yeah. Nice, Rob. Good job. Definitely go to Corbin. I'm excited for your build, Rob. I'm super excited. You're going all out. You're getting pumped with this Mark IV stuff, and I'm excited for you, man. I see that you're making some progress. You got a brand new head today, and you got that shit dirt cheap. You got Rob just went to the salvage yard and bought an AEB head for $80, complete, I believe, with cams and all, for $80. And you guys don't understand. If you left that head alone and just had everything re-cleaned up and you reused everything, it's an instant 20 plus horsepower to any 1.8T. Just buy a head. Just swapping a head over, because there's a 10 millimeter difference from the AWP head and the AEB ports, intake and exhaust. They're hugely different. They're intake ports and exhaust ports. So he's getting pretty much the most horsepower dollar for dollar you can get for a 1.8T on just bolting on. Obviously, you can do more than that. I mean, obviously, he's going to go big turbo, so he's going to have to do a whole new valve train and all that. But that's pretty much it, though, man. It's pretty dope. Smart man. And I'm jealous because he got it dirt cheap. And usually I'm going to start my goal is to build some heads. I'm thinking about going to the junkyards and building some heads. What does AEB come in? They come in early 1999, 2000, and 2001 Passats. Same as Audis, same year Audis. So 1999, maybe 98, but I know 99, 2000, and 2001 Audis as well. All those cars had an AEB head. So they had 1.8Ts. Remember, the Passats and Audis had the 1.8T before the Mark IV. So they actually got them earlier than Mark IVs. So they got different style engines in them. And they made much more torque, but less horsepower. But the heads is what you want. That's where your money's at right now, those heads. And they're a straight bolt-on to a 1.8T or AWP engine, pretty much. Straight bolt-on. And it's cheap horsepower. And then if you build them up, it's even better. Yeah, there you go. 98 to 01 Passat. Yep. And they're abundant. You just got to wait till they show up. And again, people sell those heads built for like $2,000 to $3,000. I'm actually considering building those heads and selling them for a little bit better deal for you guys. It's kind of my idea down the road. I've been wanting to build engines, build long blocks, and sell them. That's kind of like one of my future things, like I want to do for people. But it's just the money, man. It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. Wow, that's cheap, McDubbin. If you can get me a $40 head, I'll take it. I'll take it off your hands. I'll pay you $80 for it. I'll double that price for you. If you can get me an AEB head, I'd double it for you, hands down, next day. Seriously. I would literally tear down that engine right now and swap the head out of it, move everything over. I would do it in a heartbeat if I get one of those heads pretty quick out of the Corrado. All right. Well, it's been almost an hour, so I'm going to call it a night, guys. I got to go help my wife do some banners. We got some sticker orders coming in. And everybody else, if you guys ordered black shirts, please be patient. The company we're working for, that's making our shirts for us, it's just they're having some issues, so we're taking a little bit. That's freaking amazing, McDubbin. Honestly, Yeah, you're sitting on a gold mine if they're charging $40 to $100 for heads and blocks. I mean, I'd buy them all day, and build them up. I'd do like fresh rebuilds with like stock internals, and then I'll do high horsepower builds, That'd be dope. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night, but I just want to give you guys a heads up. Please email me your pictures of your cars. If you guys want to see it on a shirt, I will do some funky or some fun, groovy stuff for you guys. If you guys like it, I'll put them up on the online store and you guys buy it. Simple as that. Okay? And we're going to make them all pretty soon. We're going to make all our shirts in-house again. But right now, again, everything's being made third party at the moment. Not proud of it, believe me. But please send me your emails and I'll check them out and we'll do something for you guys. And maybe I'll make it I'll design it so it can be a wallpaper. So if you guys want a wallpaper of your car all funky done too, I can do that as well. Maybe if I get a bunch of people's cars, we can put them all as a collage and make it a shirt with just Pinche Al's Garage, with everybody's cars on the shirt. It'd be something dope. I don't know. I just want to have fun, man. I want to have fun. I want to do some fun stuff that's not normal. Just that's what this channel is about, not normal. Just have some fun and wacky stuff. By the way, this Friday is my birthday. All right? August 7th, I turned 37 years of age. And we're going to have a birthday party here online. And we're going to go live on Zoom. We're going to have a Zoom tube is what I'm going to call it. A Zoom tube birthday party so you can celebrate my birthday. Yep, good night. And until we meet again, break, fix, and repeat. That's right. So please, please, please have fun. Have night. We're going to have an 80s theme, so dress up in your 80s do. I'm going to be wearing something from the 80s. So let's have some fun. And again, we're just going to talk, chat, and we actually can see each other. So have a webcam so you guys can see me and I can see you. I can finally meet some of you guys from all around the world. So I'm excited for that. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to have some more updates on the Corrado hopefully next week. More parts are coming in. So we'll show you guys what comes in and we'll show you what we're going to be doing during that process. I'm trying to think what else is there. What else is there? No, that's pretty much it. If you guys aren't Patreon members, I highly recommend becoming a Patreon. It helps us generate more content and make more videos like we do every day. All right. Other than that, please be safe out there. Wear a mask. Respect each other's boundaries. Do the 6 feet limit stuff and all that. Just follow the rules and this COVID will go away. That's what we want. We want it to go away. My wife and I are going cuckoo inside this house, man. So, as always, if you see another dubber on the road, give a thumbs up. Deuces. Respect one another. Be safe. And as always, here at Pinche Al's Garage, we're going to break, we're going to fix, and we're going to repeat. Because that's what we do here, and we do it for you. You are who matters, and you guys are awesome. So thank you, and have a wonderful night.